The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
We are the Fantasy Fat Guys.
I'm Porterhouse.
And I'm Powers.
And we're here to talk to you and give you C+ to C- information about fantasy football.
You know, if you go, if you're like a college athlete and you go and you know, you need like a C- to pass, we're your people.
We're going to get you through.
Without the athletic ability.
I mean, at some point in our lives, we had minimal athletic ability.
Yeah.
But you can't
I mean,
teach
like, I made like all-star games.
And we were never going to be able to play some of the sports.
Right. I mean, I made all-star games, but, you know, my dad was the coach, so of course I made it.
Made it nice and easy. I made a couple myself, even in basketball, which makes no sense for a guy that's about 5'11" and plays power forward. But there you are.
And there you are. So anyway, of course, you can get us on Spreaker. You can get us where fine podcasts are found. Just look, Fantasy Fat Guys.
And for us, we're trying a new system today, so we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah, and just look at us, good-looking fellows. We need to get like two hot dudes and just like voice it.
We're going to be Milli Vanilli,
like those bad Godzilla movies. Godzilla.
That would be Powers, in case people want to sue us personally.
Yes, if the Asian League is coming after us, it was
well. If both of our listeners are Asian, we're really screwed.
Do Asians like football?
The kicker on the Falcons. He's
Coup,
Asian.
right?
Coup.
He's
good. I don't think he's missed this year. If he has, it's been once. He's been actually outstanding.
Yeah, but and he can kick every 10, 15 minutes, which is
not a problem. Very consistent, right down the middle.
So anyway, we're here for giving you some information on the football games. Last week, I was on a cruise. So I actually got to watch football. There is nothing, the best day ever. They take you to this island. They say it's supposed to be the best day ever. Sunday was the best day ever because I just sat on the pool deck, drinking all kinds of mixed drinks in the hot tub, watching football. It was effing awesome.
Life doesn't get much sweeter than that.
It does not. I may go on.
You need naked women to serve you your beer. That's the only thing you were missing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen for guys like us.
No, I had some.
We don't have the money to afford that.
I had some Filipino guy named Ramon giving me my drinks,
and you know what? He looked pretty good by the third drink.
Yeah. But I did get to see the entire Tennessee game, which was ugly to watch.
Oh,
Tennessee
my God.
Against Kansas City, which we'll get into in a little bit. And I got to watch the Tampa Bay Chicago game, which was interesting to see. And again, another whitewash. But before we get to the football, a couple of other things we want to discuss prior to that, like the World Series. I mean, Astros against the Braves. Thank God the Astros beat the Red Sox because I can't stand the Red Sox. And now it's time for the Braves to beat the Astros.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros might be my second least favorite team, but the Red Sox clearly own that role and have forever. So I'm very excited that they were knocked out. We don't root for the same football team, but we do root for the same baseball team. We're both Yankee guys. And, having the Red Sox lose is more important to me than having the Yankees win. It's just one of those things. I know it sounds ridiculous to say that, but their losing makes me smile sometimes. The Yankee win, I almost expect. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to spoil the Yankee fan that hasn't won a title since 2009.
Yeah, we suck, man.
Holy we crap. Do. I mean, this is the longest drought ever for the Yanks.
But, the most amazing thing is everybody didn't know the Red Sox were never going to make it. They started out super hot, great beginning to the season, and then the Yankees went into that nice little run, and the Red Sox basically went down the toilet. But then they picked it up at the end, made it into the playoffs, defeated the Yankees. And, now they're out too, thank God.
I mean, the Red Sox, it was supposed to be somewhat of a rebuilding year a little bit. They were trying to find where they were going to find put all the players. Sale was out for most of the year. A lot of things looked like it wouldn't line up, but, Cora coached a pretty good team, and he got the bullpen held up for as long as Ottavino will hold up. And, because as a Yankee fan, you know what Ottavino does as the season goes on, people start hitting him.
Right.
And it happened to the Red Sox too. But, I mean, you got to tip your cap to them. They had a really, really strong season, and they weren't supposed to.
You're in big trouble when Hansel Robles is your closer at the end of the season.
Another brutal reliever, but that's what the Red Sox had, and they found a way to be competitive. Nathan Eovaldi did everything he couldn't do as a Yankee. I mean, we had all these things going against us. I was like, my God. But for the Yanks, it was just disappointment and the re-signing of Boone and Cashman we talked about last week. Neither one of us were that excited about that. But now we root for the Braves, who Met fans in this area probably hate with a passion. But Yankee fans, absolutely.
For those Native Americans who are watching.
Absolutely. We are full support of your team.
Of course. And, the Braves were just a team that I thought were going to take a longer to rebuild and look where they are. You mentioned that you thought the Red Sox were in a rebuilding year this year. It's just like the Yankees, what was it, 2018, when they got rid of everybody? And, with Judge and all, they made the playoffs, and everybody's like, wow, this rebuild took a lot quicker than we thought. And,
no, you're right.
Same thing with the Red Sox. But now the Red Sox have a lot of guys who are going to be free agents, lots of decisions. Does J.D. Martinez opt out? That's a big question mark for him. There's a thought that Devers can't go anywhere, but Xander Bogaerts may opt out. So they've got lots of question marks. And then, of course, the bullpen, which was just brutal the entire season. Something else I have to worry about. But why are we talking about the Red Sox?
Yeah, we're talking way too much about baseball. But
way too much.
We're rooting for the Braves. We'll leave it there. So we were going through, interesting things that happened this weekend, and I'm going to get to my college experience in a minute.
Right.
So if you get handed Tom Brady's 600th touchdown pass, are you just giving it back because Tom deserves it?
No.
I mean, Mike Evans didn't know, whatever. And like you said, he didn't catch a lot of balls the week before, so you knew he was going to go off this week.
Right.
And he did.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden he catches that touchdown and just hands it to the fan. And some guy from the Buccaneer organization comes by and asks for the ball. And the guy says, yeah, I just gave it to them because it's the right thing to do.
No, well, you know what?
It is, but it isn't.
It isn't because it's Tom Brady. If it was you and me, we'd be like, no, we have to sleep with Giselle. We've got to live in his like the White House. You want to stay in the Lincoln bedroom. You want to stay in his house for a month, and a couple of other assorted things, including season tickets, autograph things, and
we
stuff
would have
like
asked
that.
for a lot of shit.
Right, because we don't like him. But the guy was a Tom Brady fan.
Well, I mean, it's very hard to be a Tom Brady fan. I don't know how you do it. I mean,
Well, if you're a Buccaneer fan, you're a Tom Brady fan.
I guess, but I mean, there's a lot of people that are Tom Brady fans, and I don't like it.
Neither do I, and I don't like you if you're a Tom Brady fan.
That's the way we feel.
Those two listeners.
That's the way we feel.
But when you look at it this way, if you were when Derek Jeter hit his 3,000th hit, it was a home run.
Yes.
If that was you, would you just give the ball back to Derek Jeter because he's a nice kid?
I would have tried to leverage some autograph stuff from Jeter. I'm not saying a lot. I would say, hey, sign a bat, sign a ball, sign a rookie card.
They did.
Give me something. I'm not looking to be greedy. I'm not looking to, listen, sleeping with Giselle would be nice. But, listen, sign a football, give me something from the team. Give me give me a suite with my family or something like that, or friends up top.
For a
something
season.
Nice for me. I'll try to leverage it the best I can. You want the ball, I have the ball. I'm leaving with the ball unless you give me what I want.
Right. So basically, it's extortion.
Slightly, yes, but it's my ball. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and I have possession of the ball.
And if you don't give me what I want,
I'm going to name my price.
If you don't give me what I want,
I think when he was a Philly, somebody had I can't remember who the player was. He had the player's number, and they went up to Kruk and asked him what it would take to give up that number. And Kruk asked for 2 cases of beer. West Virginia native, class guy, my kind of ball player.
Yeah, it's all big.
Listen, he had money. All he wanted was 2 cases of beer. I respect it.
But then you look.
But I have nothing. Yeah, John Kruk has money.
A-Rod, I don't know if it was his 3,000th hit or his 600th home run. I think it was the 600 home run. The guy, I guess, who goes to all ballparks and catches foul balls all the time, is notorious for it, was the one who caught the ball. And he refused to give it back to A-Rod. It took 6 months of negotiation. But this guy played it really good because, yeah, he got the autographed bat, he got the autographed jersey and stuff like that. So he didn't look like he was looking for money. He made the Yankees make a $150,000 donation to a charity of his choice.
That's very cool.
So it took 6 months to negotiate with like Lon Frost and Hal Steinbrenner and stuff.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that he got a $150 for the charity. I missed
the biggest part is that's because nobody likes A-Rod.
Pretty much. He's one of those guys that no one's going to help.
No. So whatever. I mean, how can you feel bad for him? When Jenny on the Block left, how do you feel bad?
You don't. You just don't.
You just don't. So anyway.
So that's where we are with that. I did have a college football experience this weekend. Mm-hmm. I go every year with my dad. We go up to a game up at West Point.
And there's nothing like going. I mean,
it's really cool. I mean, if you don't live in the Northeast, or even if you do and you haven't experienced it, being on the campus is amazing. They parachute onto the field from 5,000 feet. They land at the 50. They compete with each other for it. The freshmen have to do push-ups for every point scored. And this week they did a lot of push-ups. The cannons go off, scare the crap out of you every time. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're getting shot every time you turn around. But overall, it's just an amazing experience. It's not the greatest brand of college football, but my father's a veteran. We like going up, and we do this every year. So this year was interesting because we were at the highest scoring game in the history of both Army football and Wake Forest football.
Now, you had mentioned, I'm sure people who watch the game, they kind of know what happened. What was the final score?
70-56.
Does that like double the total that Army scored all year?
Army actually puts up some points. I'll give them that. But 56 would be the high.
Every time I've watched an Army game, it's handoff, and maybe they do like a draw play. And that's it.
It's not even that. It's handoff to the fullback, quarterback keeper, or they pitch it to the wingback. They're really running a triple option in a lot of ways.
Right.
And so the game is fast, actually, because they run the ball so much. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing this week was that there was no defense. 18 touchdowns scored, which would be more than the Jets will probably score for the season. Right. I wish I was exaggerating. Right. I wish I was making that up.
Right.
18 touchdowns scored, 17 offensive. Wake did have an interception for a touchdown on a fake field goal of all things. Guy was wide open. The holder floated the ball and it just got picked. The defender didn't even know it was there. All of a sudden it was floated to him. He just picked it up and ran with it. But it was 126 points, and Wake Forest scored that 70 points or 63 offensively. Mm-hmm. With 17 minutes of time of possession. Basically scoring a touchdown less than every 2 minutes. Army refused to adapt to the fact that they could not cover their receivers and refused to put a safety deep. It was mind-numbing. You're sitting there watching it. So even though the Black Knights lost, it was one of the more entertaining games I've ever been to. So 70-56. It was wild. So, I mean, that was my Saturday. And then, again, do it every year with my dad. It's an awesome experience. If you haven't done it, do it. It's really cool.
Now, the amazing thing, like you said, all you got to do is put a guy in the backfield, do something to defend them from the far throw. The Jets, on the other hand, couldn't figure out how to stop a screen pass.
Mac Jones literally has shown that he's not going to throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field. And for the most part, he's going to throw it 5 yards down the field, right? And yet the Jets can't figure this out.
Right.
You're coming off a bye, okay? Mm-hmm. You've had 2 weeks to prepare for this offense,
right?
Which I'm sure is complex with all the different screens and draws and different things that they're doing. It's a rookie quarterback. And the Jets have scored exactly 0 points in the first quarter all season through 7 games, right? Through 7 weeks, 6 games.
Which is impressive.
So you say to yourself, when do we start blaming the coaching staff? Mm-hmm. At some point, the Salah thing has to get no longer get a little bit of a pass.
Right.
It's got to be, okay, can these guys ever come out and score a point? Can they come out and stop somebody? They go into a hole every freaking week. The offense isn't ready. The defense isn't ready. This week, the defense didn't show up at all, which is
well. You know what? The amazing thing was, let's do the screen pass to the right. Oh wow, that worked out well. Nobody was there to defend it. So why don't we try doing it to the left this time?